Have you ever heard that meditation could be dangerous? It sounds counterintuitive, right? We usually think of meditation as this oasis of calm, a guaranteed path to peace and mindfulness. But what if I told you that for some people, under certain circumstances, meditation can lead to experiences that are anything but peaceful? Today, we're diving deep into what is often called the most dangerous meditation. Now, let's be clear. There isn't one single technique officially labeled as the most dangerous. Instead, the danger lies in how certain intense practices are approached, especially without the right guidance, a stable state of mind, or a supportive environment. Think of it like this. A powerful sports car is an amazing machine, but in the hands of an untrained driver on a treacherous road, it can be incredibly risky. So, what are these high-risk practices? One of the most talked about is Kundalini Yoga and its related energy-raising visualizations. Kundalini practice is designed to awaken a powerful, dormant energy coiled at the base of the spine and guide it upward through the body's energy centers, or chakras. In traditional settings, this is done under the strict supervision of an experienced guru over many years. The goal is spiritual enlightenment. However, when people jump into intense Kundalini practices, without proper preparation or guidance, maybe from a YouTube video or an inexperienced teacher, they can run into trouble. This powerful energy, if mishandled, can lead to what's sometimes called Kundalini psychosis or Kundalini syndrome. The symptoms can range from physical sensations like intense heat, vibrations, or headaches, to severe psychological distress, including paranoia, hallucinations, and a complete break from reality. It's like turning on a high-pressure fire hose without knowing how to direct the flow. The energy can go everywhere, causing chaos instead of clarity. Another area that can be surprisingly challenging is intense, prolonged meditation retreats. You've probably heard of Vipassana retreats, where you meditate for 10 or more hours a day, often in complete silence, with minimal food and social interaction. For many, this is a profoundly transformative experience. It can strip away the noise of daily life and offer deep insights. But for individuals who might have underlying psychological vulnerabilities, this intense environment can be a pressure cooker. The extreme sensory deprivation and lack of external distractions mean that whatever is buried in your subconscious, past traumas, anxieties, deep-seated fears, can come rushing to the surface with overwhelming force. This can lead to panic attacks, a frightening sense of detachment from yourself, known as depersonalization, or feeling like the world around you isn't real, which is derealization. In rare but documented cases, it has triggered full psychotic breaks, especially in people who may have a predisposition they weren't even aware of. Imagine being alone in a silent room for 10 days, and suddenly, every fear you've ever had is screaming in your mind with nowhere to escape. Without a skilled teacher who can help you navigate this dark night of the soul, as it's sometimes called in spiritual traditions, the experience can be deeply traumatic rather than healing. The problem isn't the meditation itself, but the intensity and the lack of a safety net for those who are unprepared. This brings us to a crucial point: the importance of a solid foundation. In many Eastern traditions, meditation isn't a standalone practice you just pick up. It's part of a larger ethical and philosophical system. Practices like the Noble Eightfold Path in Buddhism or the yamas and niyamas in yoga provide an ethical framework. These are principles for living a compassionate, honest, and balanced life. They act as grounding wires. When you start engaging in advanced techniques, things like working with intense energies or exploring altered states of consciousness, without this ethical and mental grounding, you're building a skyscraper on a foundation of sand. Without a strong moral compass and a clear understanding of the purpose of the practice, it's easy to get lost. You might become inflated with spiritual ego, believing you have special powers, or you could get tangled in confusing and frightening psychological states. A qualified teacher is essential here. They act as a guide, helping you integrate these powerful experiences and keeping you grounded in reality. They've walked the path before and can spot the pitfalls you can't see. This is especially true for individuals with pre-existing mental health conditions. If you have a history of anxiety, depression, PTSD, or a family history of psychosis, jumping into an intense meditation practice without professional guidance can be like pouring gasoline on a fire. While some gentle mindfulness techniques can be incredibly helpful for managing symptoms, other practices can actually make them worse. For example, a common instruction in meditation is to observe your thoughts without judgment. For someone with obsessive-compulsive disorder or severe anxiety, this can become another obsession, a new rule to follow perfectly, leading to more stress. For someone with a history of trauma, sitting in silence can cause flashbacks to surface with terrifying intensity. It's vital that meditation is approached as a complementary tool, ideally with the guidance of a therapist or psychiatrist who understands both mental health and contemplative practices. They can help you choose the right technique and provide support if difficult emotions arise. It's interesting to look at how these challenging experiences are viewed in different contexts. In traditional monastic settings, going through difficult psychological states, what modern researchers call adverse effects, is often seen as a necessary part of the journey. These are hurdles to overcome on the path to enlightenment. The student is supported by a community and a teacher who can frame the experience as a spiritual trial, not a personal failing or a mental illness. But in our modern secular world, we often lack that framework. We take a practice out of its rich, supportive context and expect it to be a simple wellness hack. When someone has a terrifying experience during a meditation app session, there's no guru there to explain it. There's no community to support them. They're left alone, feeling scared, confused, and maybe even thinking they're losing their mind. This mismatch between the intensity of the practice and the individual's capacity and support system is where the real danger lies. So how do you meditate safely? How do you reap the incredible benefits without falling into these potential traps? First, start slow. Don't jump into a 10-day silent retreat or an advanced Kundalini class as your first experience. Begin with short, guided meditations. 5 to 10 minutes a day is a great starting point. Use a reputable app or find a beginner's class in your community. Second, find a qualified teacher. Look for someone with extensive experience, not just in the technique they teach, but also in working with students from various backgrounds. A good teacher will be interested in your personal history, ask about your mental health, and will never, ever dismiss your concerns. If a teacher tells you that your panic attack is just your ego resisting and pushes you to keep going without offering real support, that's a major red flag. Third, listen to your body and your mind. Meditation is not a competition. It's not about forcing yourself into a state of blissful silence. Some days will be easy, and some days will be hard. If a practice consistently makes you feel worse, more anxious, more agitated, more disconnected, stop. It might not be the right practice for you, or it might not be the right time. There's no shame in taking a step back. And finally, if you have a history of mental health challenges, please talk to a mental health professional before starting a new intensive practice. Your well-being is the #1 priority. A supportive therapist can be an invaluable partner on your journey. Meditation can be one of the most powerful tools for self-discovery, healing, and growth. But like any powerful tool, it needs to be used with wisdom, respect, and care. The most dangerous meditation isn't a specific chant or posture. It's the one undertaken with ignorance and impatience. By approaching your practice with awareness, humility, and the right support, you can safely explore the incredible depths of your own mind. Thank you so much for joining me today for this important conversation. I hope this helps you navigate your own contemplative journey with more confidence and wisdom. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the world of mindfulness. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Have you ever had a challenging experience with meditation? Let's share and learn from each other. Stay safe and be well.